Hey friends, you are crafting with Kim Byers at the Celebration Shop, and this is day 2 of Cricut Christmas. So we are going to craft lots of things with lots of different types of materials. It's going to get you using your machine and get you comfortable with your machine so that you can make all kinds of Christmas fun. So today we are making oversized large snowflakes, and these are something that I personally use for party decor, but I also use it to kind of decorate the house throughout Christmas. And we're just using cardstock. I'm going to show you how to hang it. They're very light, and I'm going to show you how to hang it so it looks like it's falling. It's actually a really simple but darling project, and especially if you live in the South like I do and you dream of snow but you don't get any, this is a great way to make some for yourself. So let's hop over to Cricut Design Space. I'll show you what we're doing. And then we'll jump over to the craft table and we'll put it all together, and make sure that you sign up or hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the 12 days of Cricut Christmas. Okay guys, let's get going. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and so this project is really simple, guys. So what you want to do is just open up a blank new canvas, and so if you're on the home page, there's a square that you click for new. If you're already in Cricut Design Space, new is right here in the upper right hand corner. Once you have a blank canvas, what we want to do is go into Images, and on the left hand side there's all these different filters. So I've typed in the word snowflakes, and then I went over to type, and so you can, it looks like this, it'll be closed. You open it up, and type is going to have cards, phrases, and 3D in it. So we want to click 3D. So once you do that, then it's going to eliminate most of the flat designs. And so you see these that have this tiny little line, that is a cut line. So what you want to do is go through and find snowflakes, and there's probably, I mean, there's some really intricate ones. This is more like a medallion kind of like thing, but there are multiple ones in here, and so you want to select a snowflake and then insert it into your canvas. So this is one that I actually already have. Actually, you see there that this is the same as this yellow. If you look over in panels, you can't see it when you're looking at it here, but you notice there's two different colors. And so basically that's the two different cuts. And so you're going to cut them, they're mirror images, and then they will connect. And I'll show you how to do that. But what I would suggest, if you want to do a two-toned blue, I mean, that could be beautiful. I'm going to do these in white. But like if you had glitter cardstock, or you just have to make sure that both sides of your cardstock are the same color. Now for this project, I actually purchased kind of a packet of just pure white cardstock from Cricut. But I mean, blue would be gorgeous, right? But if you want these to be one color, or you want them to be white, if you go over into Color Sync, you see here it's going to show you, and you'll be able to just move that up to have them the same. Okay, so now that we have everything the same color, if we go back into Layers, I want to talk to you a little bit about size. So one of the things I love about this craft is you can make these things huge. So if you're using your Cricut Joy, of course you're only going to be able to make them 4.5 by 4.5 inches, and that's okay. That's a fun snowflake. But if you're using your Maker or your Explorer Air 2, you're going to be able to make them roughly like 11.5 inches wide. And tall. So that is what I have done, is I've used the bigger machine and made some really fun snowflakes. So, but one of the things that I'm a stickler about trying to save material. So my suggestion would be, if you're going to make the really big ones, make them almost the full size of the sheet. And if you look at this one, let's see if I can minimize my screen here so you can see. Okay, so if you look at this one, it's roughly 11.1. I might make it just a smidge bigger, but that's going to be a full sheet. And then if you look at this one, it is roughly half a sheet. And you may have to make it just a tiny bit smaller so that I can get two on one sheet. So I never like to waste material. And of course you can cut out the corners and save the paper for other small projects. But if you're going to make these, I would suggest making them in such a way that you can have a really large one, and then maybe even making a smaller one like this that can go on the corners of the really big one. So once you've kind of got these the way that you want them to be, so this will be 2 sheets of paper. You can get 1 snowflake on 1 sheet, and then this one hopefully will kind of take up those 2 corner sides. So the way to do that though, if you want these 2 to cut on the same sheet, you're going to have to make them the same color. So if you go into Color Sync and then you just move the yellow down to the blue, okay? So then when you go over to make it, you'll be able to see if they're all going to fit on the mat. So what I want to share with you though before we move on is that go up into your machine. Again, you can choose Joy, you just have to make smaller snowflakes, and then you can also do Maker and Explore. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so it looks like we're using the entire sheet, which is fantastic. So there's our 2 that are going to make 1 snowflake. And then if you go down some more, we could actually make that snowflake a little bit bigger if we wanted to, or we could make multiples of this smaller snowflake just to sort of fill in the piece of paper. So let's cancel real quick and we'll go back in, and I'm going to make this guy just a little bit bigger and these guys just a little bit bigger, and then we'll select Make It Again. Go into our blue. Okay, so this is what I wanted to be able to show you. So if you have a situation like this where you have this mat and you have all this extra space, and then you have this mat and you think that this snowflake will fit on the mat above, just go into these 3 little dots and select Move Object, and then select the mat you think that it can go to. So now you see, if you look over here on the left hand side, it's missing. And then you're looking at this mat and you're like, where did it go? It's just right on top of that other one. So if you can maneuver it, see, it's going to fit perfectly fine. And so now you would be able to do 4 snowflakes or 2 snowflakes and 4 pieces on 1 mat. And you could even go back in if you wanted to and make these 2 just a smidge larger so that you could take up that space. But I love to save material, so I just wanted to make sure you guys knew how to do that. Okay, so now we just select Continue. And at this point, we're going to make sure that our machine is connected. Okay, so we'll just click. Oh, and look, we can see our Joy is there as well as our Maker. We're going to select Maker. Okay, so now at this point, what we want to do is we want to select our material. And we're just going to be using a cardstock, and it's not even a seriously heavy cardstock, but we're going to use the one for intricate cuts, okay? So if we click on this, and by the way, if you don't see intricate cardstock right here, you can go into Browse All Materials, and it's going to bring up just a massive list, and you'll be able to go to cardstock and then pick the one that you want. Okay, so now we are ready to go over to the craft table and put our paper on the mat and start making snowflakes. Okay, so here we are on the craft table, and today we're just using a couple of things. So I have cardstock that I bought from Cricut in bulk, and so you can buy specific colors in sets of 20, and so that's what I did for these snowflakes. Then I have a green mat. I have my clear acrylic ruler because I use it for everything. I'm not sure that I'll need it today, but I use it for everything, so I always have it out. And I've got some clear tape. I have my tools. I may need to use my scraper to get my snowflake off my mat, and then any little intricate details in the snowflake I could get out. And then this is clear fishing line, and I use this for all of my hanging projects, and so I'll show you how that works. It is a lifesaver and you're going to love using it. Okay, so let's move everything out of the way and we'll put our first piece of material on the mat. Okay, so we're just going to take a piece of the white cardstock and line it up across, and then we can put that down with our hands. And you can also use the scraper if you wanted to do that as well. We just want to make sure there's no bubbles. So let's take this over to the machine. Okay, so here we are at the machine. So we just want to make sure and put our mat underneath these guides and feed it in. And then it's as simple as select and go. Okay, so I've cut out several snowflakes, and this is the last sheet. I wanted to show you, when you cut these out, the best thing for you to do is to bend your mat and not your paper. So you literally want to get the paper off of the mat by bending the mat and letting the paper kind of pop up. You can always use your scraping tool as well, but it is a lot simpler to just bend the mat and let that paper pop up. And just be careful because they are snowflakes. You have to be really gentle. Okay. And so now the snowflake itself should come off really easy. And you can always use your tool, your scraping tool, if you need to. I think it's going to pop up there. There we go. Okay, so now that we have that off the mat, we put our mat to the side, and I'm going to show you this process with a little bit smaller snowflake, but isn't that cool? That is so big. Just imagine several of those together at different heights hanging from your ceiling. Eek! It's going to be really, really fun. Okay, so let's use this one, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is. So make sure that, again, the paper has pulled away, and so you just have a slit on each of these. And what you want to do is you want to put them literally together just like this, and pull your paper all the way up. And then we're going, so if you lay them down flat, of course, you know, they fall flat side by side, but we're going to take a little piece of clear tape, pick up your snowflake, and so when you have it where you think it should be, just take that piece of clear tape and put it between those two and sort of bend it in. This is going to help the snowflake to stand up. Whoops, to stand up. And so you can then do that on the other corner as well. It just gives some stability. Okay, and so once your snowflake is assembled, you just take a piece of clear fishing line and another piece of tape and just attach it to the top of the snowflake. And so then they're going to hang. And they're so light, guys, and you can put a ton of these in a windowsill or above your tree or wherever. It's really, really fun and so easy to make. Okay, friends, so what did you think? So those are really easy to make, like really easy to make, but they are beautiful hanging, and it's something that your kids can get into and help you with, and it's just something that you can kind of liven up the house for just a few bucks. I have got them all over my studio during Christmas, and I actually hang some out in the living room as well around the Christmas tree. It's very fun. And I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and join us for all the days of Cricut Christmas. I put down below the codes for the files that I used within Cricut Design Space so that you can find those exact snowflakes. But if you search for oversized, I think it's actually 3D snowflakes. If you search for 3D snowflakes, there's several different ones. I think there's 3 or 4 different versions of them that you can pick from. So I hope that you will do that, and hop down below in the description and check out all the things that we used here today. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I would love to help you enjoy crafting. Okay guys, so you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.